Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you what is in my plein air bag and all the equipment that I take with me to paint outside. So come on over. I'm just going to put this down. I thought it would be a good idea just to show you everything that I take and talk you through it. If you find this video helpful, do subscribe to my channel and like the video. So first of all, I've got my my wet painting carrier. It's called a Raymar, and that's very useful to carry the wet paintings home. This one is my Manfrotto tripod. It's called the Be Free, and I think it's carbon, so it makes it quite light. I've got a heavier version for the winter in case it's windy. And this is called a palette garage, this thing here. And let me show you inside. So I haven't got any paint on there at the moment, but it's a way of not carrying all my paints out with me when I'm painting outside, so it keeps the weight down. So you can buy them in America and online, but sadly they don't ship to the UK anymore, which is disappointing. So I'm going to lay out everything that I've got in my bag on here so you can see what I've got. I'll put that in the back. Right, so I've got three main compartments, and as you can see, this is I'll talk about the bag first. Oh, husband just told me to take the cap off, might help. Painting cap, there we go. All right, so this is a laptop bag. And now the beauty of this bag is that it has, not only does it have the backpack straps, but it also converts into wheels, which is so useful when you don't want to carry it everywhere. You can wheel it about, which I find just absolutely amazing. It saves so you're not too tired when you arrive to paint. Now the main compartment holds my pochade very nicely. It's an open box end, and I have done a video on this, so if you wanted to have a look on my channel, I've got more about it in depth, but just today it's a 11 by 14 size. It's an American make, got a couple of tables in there and a hook for the turps. So that works nicely, and the fact it fits in the bag. I also have quite a nice selection of boards. So I'd like at least 10 with me, all different shapes, ready to go. And then I think they're MDF, and I think they're 2.5 mil, my ones. There is a little sketchbook, always useful. It's a Sea White of Brighton, mine, a softy one. These are quite good. I don't know if you've come across these before. They're called Tombow. And the good thing about it is that they're brush end and a detail end, but I have the three kind of tonal values, and it makes me look at a scene in a tonal way, not like just a drawing way, but a tonal way, so it helps me prepare for a painting. So that's what I do, a little sketch if needed, and just a soft pencil. Something else that's very useful is my viewfinder. When I first began, I used a viewfinder all the time because I found that it was such a big subject out there, I couldn't deal with it. So this helped make it smaller and helped me be able to translate what was there onto my board. So that's that pocket. The next one, I always carry water, cold water with me, and a hot drink like peppermint tea. Because quite often you're cold when you're painting because you're standing still. And then here's my brush roll. So this is a bamboo brush roll from Rosemary Co, which is a brush company. And I'm just going to open this up so you can see it better. Hang on. So the nice thing about this brush roll is that it stays rigid. So when I'm painting out there, and this is say my leg of my tripod, I can put it like that and it stays upright so it doesn't get mucky or anything, which is really cool. And my brushes are mainly Rosemary Co. I really like this make. It's good quality, not expensive. It's called a ultimate short, well, the ultimate is the type of the brush, and it's a short flat, so I quite like short flats. They're my favourites. And it's surprising how worn they get. You know, it's the same, almost the same one, and it goes on the corners. So, and then I also use a Pro Arte Stirling make, and these are soft and they're good for detail. So those are the two main things I use, and then different shapes, but mainly short flats, they're my favourites. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, so kind of like materially things, I got a big sun hat, which is useful if, you know, sometimes it's not good just to have a front peak, you need a whole big one. One glove, I use 2 gloves in the winter and 1 in the summer because my left hand, which is my non-painting hand, gets cold sometimes when I'm holding, so I always take a 1 glove with me in the summer. And then I've got my pinny, painting pinny. This is what's that called?
Turps.
Thank you, turps. I hold my turps in here, so I don't use any other medium, I just use turps to thin the paint in the beginning. And I just open that up for you. There we go. So it's got a you know, rubber seal, so it does seal it very well. I have had a couple of disasters in my bag before where it's leaked, so I always now have a bag to protect it, and I have a little bit of tissue in there in case it does leak. And this is a useful plastic bag to hold any like dirties in there, you know, that you've used, rags or anything, so it doesn't get everywhere. These are 2 little clips, and it's just some kitchen towel, and it goes on the side of my pochard on one of my tables, so I can kind of do that with my brush if I need to wipe it. There we go. And half a hanky for a rag in case I want to wipe out anything on my board that I'm working on. There. So, and then in my compartment here, I always take masking tape. It's useful. You never know when you're going to need it, whether you're going to, you know, tape something like a board or, you know, anything. It's just a really practical. I use it quite a lot. I always carry a spare white. Although I've got my palette garage full of my paints, you use white more, so well I do. So I have that in case. And this is my edge. Some people use the side of a board to make an edge, but this is, you know, it's smaller, it's easier for me. Excuse me. And it's like a lucky dip. Okay, let me get the other one. So this is 2 very, I can barely open them, very strong clips. I think I got them on Amazon. And I use these for a panoramic board, so a bigger version of this. And because it, you know, my pochard doesn't allow for very wide, I can then attach it with these, which is useful as well. And that's it in there. And then just my front one. This is just, it's a palette knife, and it's a number 81. And RGM, I think it is, the make. And I use it for mixing my colours before I paint, oil paint. They can snap, but they last for ages. So I always carry a spare if I'm traveling, but otherwise, yeah, this is very good. Sun cream, factor 50, it's a kid's one, so it's small, which is useful and light. My camera, just a spare, in case I don't want to use the phone or I'm doing something for it, it's good to have a little camera. And, oh, if you come here, so I always also have a piece of, what do you call that, rope or nylon or whatever, and that can attach onto my tripod. If it's windy or I want to tie it something, I can tie it round and it just protects it. So I always carry that as well. So I'm just going to check my notes to make sure. I wrote out my notes just to make sure I've got everything. I've told you everything. Oh, I have forgotten. So there is a little compartment up here, and it is my business cards. So I always have business cards. Antihistamines. You never know when you're going to get caught with hay fever in painting. And a hair clip and money for parking. So annoying if you can't park and you're desperate to paint. I haven't got it with me, but I always have a snack as well, just in case, because I do get hungry. Anything else? Mr. B, have I forgotten anything? No? I hope this is helpful. So I've gone through just about all the equipment that I take with me. And do ask any questions. I'm happy to answer anything on the comments. And I hope that this has been helpful for you. Going through what I use, it's kind of tried and tested. I've been painting plein air for about 5 years or so. So I've kind of honed down what's useful for me. I hope it might be useful for you as well. So do subscribe to my channel. It'd be lovely to have you along on my journey. And thank you very much for watching. Bye for now. I thought I'd add a little bit to the end of this video because I forgot to tell you the reason I was doing it is because I've been sorting out all my equipment because we're going away on a plein air and photography trip to Switzerland and France. We leave next week and I'm very excited, and I'm going to document it all, so it'll be on my channel. Lots of videos on, you know, Lake Lucerne, and yeah, do keep an eye out. Okay, thank you.